and Jack Laidlaw, I don't believe I can see there. We'll keep an eye out for them. But we do have a green flag at the back there, Keith. So a long line of sidecars that go all the way around down Deersleep, in fact, nearly. But all eyes to the lights then as the revs rise. And away we go then for the Formula 1 and the Formula 2 sidecars. Bell and Hyde make a good start from second on the grid there. There's Ryan and Callum Crowe. Callum takes a look across, and there's a big face full of the number 27 of Paul Kirby, as the 114 machine of Wayne Lockie and Matty Rostron make the way out of pit lane. But I believe there, Keith, you will see Ryan and Callum Crowe in second place with Phil Bell and Phil Hyde leading the way.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see them. Oh, jeez. I can see them. I can see them. I can see them. Hello? No. Hello, mate. No.
So we'll try and pick them up as they come around to, excuse me, complete their first sector times at least anyway. But as they left me, it was Bell and Hyde leading the way over Ryan and Callum Crowe. Of course, Ryan and Callum Crowe victorious at the TT this year twice. And of course, sons of Nick Crowe as well. But I believe they'll be making the way over the top and down towards you very shortly, Keith. Are you there? Not to worry, we can pick them up as they go in towards the second sector there, and it is Phil Bell and Phil Hyde. I can see on the timing screen here that the number 68 is being shown as being your race leader, and Bell and Hyde, and just to see the flashes of colour as they make their way round Druids. Of course, a double apex right-hander there, and such a technical way exit at least. Anyway, of course, the track goes up, it drops away on the exit there, and you see some of the solos getting a little bit loose on the exit. But for these three-wheelers, they take it all in their stride, and at the end of lap number 1, it is Phil Bell and Phil Hyde, but bike number 68 who lead the way. Ryan and Callum Crowe up next, ahead of the 27 of Paul Kirby and Emma Samet. Then it's Lewis Blackstock and Oscar Lawrence in 4th place, ahead of Stephen Matty Ramsden. Big movers on that lap is the number 93, who's made up 13 positions, and that is George Holden and Jake Roberts. So they were towards the rear of the field, but they made their way up into 17th place, and that is 10th of the Formula 2s. We have a 10-second jump start penalty being applied to the number 39 of Bruce Moore and Mark Gash, so that drops them down to 26th at the end of lap number 1. That is 16th in class on corrected time, but they're already on their way towards Island Bend and Shell Oils at the moment. But Bell and Hyde led the way by just shy of 0.6 of a second over the Crowe brothers, and it's Kirby and Salmon, Blackstock and Lawrence, Stephen Matthew Ramsden right there with them, third in the Formula 2s. Will and Alan Smith make up 6 positions on that lap, and the big loser there, unfortunately, would seem to be the number 114. Of course, we know who started from the pit lane, but other than them dropping a few positions, it's Ben Holland and Wayne Stevens, the 8th place pairing in the Formula 1s, 18th place overall. They are down 7 positions into 18th.
There's any better you got me now, mate?
Yeah, we're just right here.
Okay. I've just swapped headphones again. Hopefully we can hang on to this one, because honestly, watching these sidecars through here, coming out of Hizzies, it's Phil Hyde and Phil Bell. They're the most spectacular. They're getting about a foot or so of air between themselves and the ground as Phil Hyde chucks himself over to the other side of the out to get ready for the next part of the chicane. It's really impressive stuff, and definitely trying to hang on to the outfit as he transitions. Oh, I don't believe this thing. As he transitions from one side to the other. I do apologise to everybody, but unfortunately the headset's decided to start playing up again, and I don't understand why, because I've barely moved at all. It's very frustrating as the leaders come down the hill into Cascades once again, and that's definitely a good 3-4-way battle we've got for the lead there. Some F1 and F2 outfits, and it's the pair of the Phils leading at the moment. What sort of progress has Simon Gilbert made so far, mate?
Just trying to have a look here. They've made up a position on that lap. Gilbert and Winfield there, they are 9th in the Formula 1s and 19th place overall, and lapping at 1:55.
Oh, he goes for a bit of a dive into Cascades there on whoever was just in front of him. I think there was a little bit of a rub going on there. Obviously these big outfits, they do take up a lot of track at any given time, so it does get a little bit hairy there, and As I always mention during the sidecar races, if you want to have a go at being a sidecar passenger, come to our Cadwell Park Sidecar Revival meeting. Great weekends of action, and anybody can jump on a taxi. As a taxi passenger, you don't need a license. You just need
That's right, you just need your own helmet, leathers, and gloves and boots and whatnot, don't you? But I think it's just a bit of a donation to the Bentham there, and that put you in contention to have a go on the sidecar.
Certainly will. I don't believe this thing.
So
You're right, mate. No, you're right.
Oh, no worries at all. I'm just having a look here, and actually on the timing screen here, Keith, interestingly enough, as we go in towards the second sector, it looks like there's been a change of the race leaders. Ryan and Callum Crow, they've gone purple in the first sector. They were half a second behind. They've gone 7/10 of a second quicker, so that would suggest that the Crow brothers, Ryan on the bars and Callum in the chair, lead the way, and indeed that is the order as they come across the line. So Ryan and Callum Crow on their Formula 2 machine lead the Formula 1 duo of Bell and Hyde with Kirby and Salmon in second and third place.
Well, we know there's no lack of talent in the Crow family, of course, and that stems all the way from their dad, Nick, of course, a former winner of multiple sidecar championships, and, of course, current lap record holder at Scarborough from 2008 as well. I know Nick will probably be listening either here or at home on the Isle of Man, and he must be so proud of his sons after what they achieved last year at the TT, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they stopped the Ben and Tom Birchall run, didn't they? I know that Ben had Kevin Russo in the chair last year at the TT, actually, but still to put a stop to the dominance of the Birchalls at the TT, to do it not once but twice out of the two races is no mean feat.
Very spectacular stuff indeed.
So I'm just having a look here, actually. I think we had a retirement, and it's Biggs and Smith who've come into the pits there, Keith. So the number 5 of Rob Biggs and Josh Smith, they have come into the pits.
Okay, down come the leaders into his chicane once again. 4 outfits separated by about 3 or 4 bike lengths each. And again, Phil Hyde hanging on to the side of the outfit a little bit longer this time, so we don't get the spectacular underneath shot of the outfit. Hopefully some of the photographers managed to catch that shot. See one of the photographers here, I'm not quite sure which one it was, but there's some definitely good shots to be had from the photographer. Oh, somebody else getting a serious amount of airtime. That's the 96 machine there. That's James Saunders with Sarah Stoko. Sarah definitely getting a cracking ride there. One of our top female passengers, of course, is Sarah Stoko. And definitely working very hard indeed. As a gaggle of bikes make their way past me once again. I can see Simon Gilbert there trying to punch his way through a few more. Get himself a better group position for this afternoon's race. I think I haven't had the chance to chat with Simon, but I think he's hoping to do the whole season here again with us. He's currently 3rd in the championship. It's being led by Fayers and Fox. Where are James and Mark at the moment, mate?
They were 6th Formula 1 and 11th overall, and in fact they're just coming across, across the line now. They are right in the wheel tracks of the 101 of Wakely and Hilditch there. So
that's their main competition at the moment, because obviously the Wakely and Hilditch outfits, the what number are Wakely and Hilditch? 101 outfit, yeah, of Eddie Wakely and Anthony Hilditch. They're the other contenders in the championship. They're the ones who came into this round 22 points behind, and they beat them yesterday, didn't they? So this is where the championship, I think, is going to be, and obviously Simon Gilbert would like to join in that action as well. Missing the race yesterday won't have helped his chances. He also missed the Sunday at Brands Hatch as well, so he's got a little bit of a catch-up to do at the moment, but Simon knows how to do that. Oh, we've got a bit of a challenge going on there at, no, we've got the lack of adhesion flag showing. We did have an outfit go straight on down here. That is the leading outfits coming towards me, and I tell you, oh, this is so close, mate. There's a little bit of nose-to-tail action there. I think I just saw a strip of rubber come off, and that's a back marker. Was it just holding everybody up? Because that was the number 27 outfit there of Kirby and Salmon, desperately trying to find their way past Paul and Emma there, and I think they might well have taken the lead now, mate.
Yeah, it looks like they're showing as being the race leaders as they go in towards the second sector.
Again, some big air going up underneath some of these machines down here. I do see one of the photographers here, and hopefully we'll get some shots that we can use a little bit later.
We've had a few more retirements there, unfortunately, Keith. It's Brian Alaria and Oliver Lace who pulled into the pits at the end of the previous lap there. But here come the leading 3, and Ryan and Callum Crow coming into the pits, Keith. Ryan and Callum Crow pulling into the pits, which would promote Lewis Blackstock and Oscar Lawrence up into third position overall, and of course the leaders of the Formula 2s.
And I think they're not British runners. I don't think. I think Lewis and Oscar are actually in our championship. So
Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosling runner-ups in last year's British Championship.
Okay. So maybe they're concentrated. I thought I heard that they were going to do our championship anyway.
I suspect this could well be because obviously naturally British Championship is there is in the Formula 1s. They're on the Formula 2 today, so this could well be track time for the TT.
Yeah, no, it could absolutely be. Again, we do see, because the trouble with the sidecars, as we well know, is that you don't get much of an opportunity to, you can't do track days and things like that, because you don't really go into the cars or the bikes. So getting track time on a sidecar is definitely hard work, isn't it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, which is why we're thankful for the likes of Greg Lambert and his race school.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg Lambert running the race school up north. If you want to know how to be a driver or indeed a passenger, Greg Lambert is the man who can teach you. As the leaders come past me again, it doesn't look like there's a change there. That all-black outfit of Lewis Blackstock and Oscar Lawrence, though, close right up on the action. They do lose out in a straight line to the quicker outfits in front of them, but they make it up in the corners very rapidly indeed. As the rest of the top bunch come through. You can hear the clutches slipping as they power their way up the hill. They really do lay the rubber down, these suckers. And the passengers working so hard. I promise you, if you do the taxi ride, you'll think, oh, there's not much to this, really. I've just got to sit here. But when you're going at the sort of pace these guys are going, oh, we've got another outfit retiring over there. That's the same outfit that went straight on a little bit earlier. And, okay, under its own power, it's making its way to the fence.
Well, I've had the leading three. Yeah, I've had the leading, three come past me now, Keith, and there's Kirby and Salmon leading the way by 0.3 of a second over Phil Bell and Phil Hyde, Lewis Blackstock and Oscar Lawrence up next, and it's Stephen Matthew Ramsden who have come through now, second of the Formula 2s, ahead of Andy Peach and Josh Hope, who are third in the Formula 1s. Will and Alan Smith, Gary and Darryl Gibson up next on the number 7. So they are through as well. Saunders and Stoko, Fayers and Fox. Greg Lambert coming through now with Andy Jevons in the chair.
Yep, swapping the passengers. Andy Haynes in the chair yesterday with Greg, and it's Andy Jevons. They take it in turns to play the passenger game. And that outfit is, not sure who that is. Can you see which outfit's retired there, mate?
Looking, can't see. Yeah, 101 Wakely and Hilditch look as though they're out of the race there now.
Okay, that'll be them down. I thought it was. I didn't want to call it. I couldn't quite see the number clearly.
I don't think we've got Gilbert and Winfield across the line either. They're showing us dropping 4 positions, and I can't see a lot of orange from to my left-hand side there towards Lodge. So yeah, that means Fayers and Fox then 5th in the Formula 1s. And that's 9th place overall there. They're lapping with a 1:53.769, and that is their personal best lap of the race at the end of lap number 6 with 4 to go.
Back markers coming into play here.
Yeah, and I think they're difficult enough to overtake on a solo, let alone a sidecar there, aren't they, especially around here. But everybody is out there having fun, and that's what it's all about. But looking towards Lodge, and I can see that was a challenge there from Bell and Hyde. It looks like they dive for the inside at Lodge. They went a little bit wide, but they've just about hold on to the race lead there, Keith. So across the line at the end of lap number 7, it's Phil Bell and Phil Hyde. But here comes Paul Kirby looking for the inside. No room this time around. They have to stay in second place as they go around Old Hall Corner then to start lap number 8, but it's less than 1/10 of a second gap between the 68 and the 27. Lewis Blackstock and Oscar Lawrence right there with them, leaders of the Formula 2s. Stephen Matthew Ramsden come across the line there, the father and son duo from Hebden Bridge, and then it is Andy Peach and Josh Hope up next. The 32 coming across the line now, 4th in the Formula 1s. That's Will Smith and Alan Smith with the Gibson pairing at number 7 in position number 7.
James Saunders and Sarah Stoko, they were just so up in the air that time. I actually thought that microphone.
Hello. Are you having fun there?
Mate, I am having so little fun. No, I was going to say that James Saunders and Sarah Stoko had so much air, it actually looked like a solo at about a 45-degree angle.
Wow.
And I thought for a moment there that James Fayers and Mark ridiculous. James Fayers, no, there, come on, James Fayers and Mark. I'm going to say this word. I thought.
I think someone's trying to keep me quiet.
Yeah.
So interestingly enough there, Keith, with Phil Bell and Phil Hyde there, I appreciate you've not got the timing screens or anything like that, but on this lap, Phil Bell and Phil Hyde, they have gone 0.4 of a second quicker than Kirby and Salmon in the first sector alone, and that is a purple first sector as they look to stretch their advantage. Last time around it is 0.06, but Kirby and Salmon are keeping them honest because it's now 0.2.
So mate, got a spinner here, that's Greg Lambert. He got muscled out of the way there by the 72 outfit coming down underneath him. That's Jevon Walmsley and Pete Bounds, and they basically muscled their way through on Greg Lambert there, went for a quick rotation. I don't think he actually lost the place apart from the overtake there, but yeah, a little bit of a quick pirouette there. What I was saying before about James Saunders and Sarah Stoko, their outfit was so high in the air, I thought James Fayers and Mark Fox are going to get underneath them, literally. It was really big air time they got through here.
Well, I'm just having a look at the, I can see them coming past me now there actually. There is the number 96 of James Saunders and Sarah Stoko with the Daytona 765 engine there, isn't it, for Jim Fayers and Mark Fox as they're locked together in battle. I'm just having a look at the lap times actually. It's a 48.609 for Bell and Hyde on that lap. That would have beaten the previous lap record held by Luke Williams and Anthony Hilditch of a 49.5, but of course the Laidlow brothers yesterday with a 48.4. So it's underneath the old lap record, but not quite under the new one.
Yeah, that's the nature of lap records, that's for sure. Bell and Hyde getting some serious airtime again as they retake the lead this once again from Kirby and Salmon there. Still holding on to that third place. It is the 95 machine of Blackstock and Lawrence. The surprisingly unsponsored machine as well is not emblazoned, but again I wonder if this is just a pre-season practice fairing. You were talking about some of the guys on the solos yesterday running some pretty plain fairings because it's effectively testing time. I wonder if that's the case with these guys as well.
It could well be the case. Obviously normally we do see Lewis Blackstock with the red and white Formula 1 machine, but it's the all-black Formula 2 for them at this time around as the last lap flag goes out, and it's Phil Bell and Phil Hyde still with the advantage, just about of 0.3 of a second over Paul Kirby and Emma Salmon. That Lewis Blackstock and Oscar Lawrence up next. Looks like they've managed to get by the 114 machine of Lockie and Rostra, and of course started from the pit lane there.
Fayers and Fox, good move on Saunders and Stoko there on the brakes here. Came from a long way back and went through very nicely indeed, kept it beautifully under control. So good move for the Kent-based golf course owner. just the weirdest thing you do. You meet James Fayers, you would not associate him with golf, but there we go. He doesn't actually play, he just owns a golf course, as you do.
Yeah, definitely, as you do. But Steve and Matty Ramsden are across the line now, second of the Formula 2s there, ahead of Andy Peach and Josh Hope. Will and Alan Smith up next with a bit of chatter on the radio there. Can't see anything immediately apparent on my end of things here, Keith, but last lap flag, like we say, is being shown. So next up across the line will be Lambert and Jevons, we believe. Of course, they were a spinner, but they are there. There is the fluorescent pink and yellow of the number 69 of Greg Lambert and Andy Jevons. Next up will be Costello and Smith as they come across the line now. But the race leaders then heading towards you, in fact.
Yeah, no, Bell and Hyde very defensive coming down the hill that time into Knickerbrook. Who can blame them? Kirby and Salmon weren't quite close enough, and behind them nor were Blackstock and Lawrence, but everybody playing that slightly defensive game because at the end of the day, you just want to beat who's around you. I think these guys aren't really competing for points, prizes, medals or anything else, but of course you just want to beat whoever's out there. It's just the racer's mentality. We see that just during testing and things like that. You just got to beat people all the time. That's the way this game is played.
Checker flag is out, and it is Phil Bell and Phil Hyde who take the victory there, and you can see Phil Hyde is delighted with that one there. He gives Phil Bell a good old slap on the back there in celebration as they come across the line. 0.2 of a second ahead of Kirby and Salmon, and Keith, both of them were under the lap record on that final lap.
What, the new lap record or the old lap record?
New lap record.
Oh, really?
But it's Kirby and Salmon, so they didn't get the win, but they got the lap record.
Oh, sweet.
48.207.
Oh, that's consolation prize and a half, it really is.
Absolutely. Blackstock and Lawrence up next as well. And of course the Formula 2 lap record coming into this weekend was a 52.1, and they have done a 48.6. I'm not sure what the Formula 2 was yesterday, we'll have to double check that one, but either way the lap record have been broken in both Formula 1s and Formula 2s.
Yeah, yesterday we saw a 49.195 from the Crows.
So yeah, it's 48.691 for Blackstock and Lawrence.
That
Final
is seriously impressive stuff, given that, you know, I mean, that's the Crow Brothers lap record who've done it the day before. You've taken half a second off that sucker, which is definitely impressive stuff. Right, the 101 outfit making its way slowly back under its own steam, which is all good. However, the bad news, I'm afraid, is I can see a lot of people in orange with broomsticks under them, and it's not like it's a Harry Potter Quidditch get-together thing going on. Normally what that means is that unfortunately a little bit of something on the circuit, and I can see them both down here at the chicane, at the first chicane is Oulton, and also down at Cascades. So hopefully it's nothing too